Hey, today I want to talk to you about pop art and specifically a new artist called Roy Lichtenstein. I guess new to you. And so we're going to talk about pop art. Well, what exactly is pop art? It's a movement that took place in the 50s and 60s, and it more or less means just it is short for popular art. So things that were popular during its time. Inspiration came from sources in popular culture, such as movies, Hollywood, pop music, and comic books. Prior to pop art, it had become abstract, focusing on aesthetics, color, and feeling of abstract expressionism. It was a refreshing return to identifiable imagery. People could look at it and go, oh yeah, I know exactly what that is. After a time when things just became so abstracted that they weren't sure what it was. Okay? So from the 1950s, 56 or so, and 1962, this guy named Richard Hamilton created photo montages where he would take pictures from magazines and images and cut them out and actually glue them into a collage. Then there was this guy named David Hockney who used technology to create photo montages. Where this guy had to cut and paste, he started using the computer. Claes Oldenburg is a guy that does pop art sculptures. You might be familiar with the shuttlecocks over here. And this is a birdie, more or less, if you've ever been to the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art. There are sculptures of his in the yard of the museum. But he's known for taking huge everyday objects and making them humongous, like a hamburger, erasers, things like that, clothespins. And that's what Oldenburg did. Okay, Andy Warhol is another one. He did screen printing of famous icons, like here's Marilyn Monroe. He did some of Elvis Presley and John Wayne as well. He's also known for printing soup cans over and over and over. Maybe you're even familiar with 100 soup cans, one of his famous prints. Greg here, Guillemin, he is a modern pop artist, took imagery and made it more colorful and exuberant and more like a comic book. Roy Lichtenstein is a comic pop artist. He's the guy that I want to focus on. He was born in Manhattan, New York, and to a middle-class family. He was one of the leading figures of the pop art movement. He created artwork based on popular objects and icons, of course, of the time, just like all the other artists did. He was a teacher as well as an artist, and he created these huge, large-scale comic books. When you look at a comic book back in the day, it was made up of little tiny dots of color. And he called these Ben-Day dots. And he used these dots to color it in. He copied famous artist pieces. He copied things from the media. He did still life objects too. All kinds of things, all kinds of subjects. So here's a Mickey Mouse cartoon, or a Mickey Mouse done by Disney, and here's Lichtenstein's Mickey Mouse. And here's some of his others. He did what's called diptychs and triptychs, where he had pieces that kind of fit together. So where two images or canvases side by side continued the theme, okay? A triptych is with three canvases. Here's some of the Ben-Day dots. They were patterns that were put together with the polka dots, okay? Here's some more. Some more. Interpreting Georgia O'Keeffe. Here's an interpretation of the Mona Lisa and some Van Gogh things. And these are most popular pieces. Comic book art that he did. There's the Wham that I showed you a minute ago. Ben-Day dots. Okay. Here you can see the dots up close. They were done in little bitty rows, all lined up. Really important. Here's some more. So these dots weren't random. They were in little lines, see, going up and down to fill it in. And they were done with red here, but our eye mixes the red and the white together, and it makes like a peachy color. That's what we're starting to see here, like a flesh tone. Okay? You're going to have an assignment. You're going to be creating a self-portrait using Roy Lichtenstein's pop art style. You're going to take a selfie, one that you already have, and save it to your computer. Okay, of course you could take a new one too. You're going to copy your selfie into Google Drawings. You're going to put a grid over the top. On drawing paper, you're going to draw from the grid. You're going to outline the whole entire thing in fat black Sharpie. You're going to add pop art details to the background and on your portrait. Have fun using pattern, stripes, words. You're going to add a speech bubble with some kind of phrase that you like to say. Keep it clean for school. And using markers or colored pencils in primary colors or secondary, not both. Using Ben-Day dots, stripes, or filling in areas of your color for your portrait. And here are some examples. Notice the dots are not random, they're in rows. Okay? Little too random on that one. That's not really Ben-Day dots. But he's got some cool pattern here. He's got them in the jersey. But he's got some awesome colors. This student honestly didn't follow directions a whole lot. Red, yellow, blue. Yeah, I'm seeing some other things going on here. This one has some issues. That is done in primary colors. Here's some more. Friend of mine. Another one. Here's one done in secondary colors. Beautiful job. Okay? So that is going to be our assignment, and I wanted to introduce it to you today.